It's 2019, people, just decades before xenomorphs show up on LV-426, and NASA isn't even attaching Nova cannons to their spaceships yet. So today, we take the time to recognize the greatest heroes in the war against aliens and bring attention to this urgent issue. But first, we have to take some time to thank today's sponsor, Vikings War of Clans. Vikings War of Clans is a humanity-first approved game, and we love it so much because it's inspired by some of the best strategy and RPG games of the 90s, games that kids today could never understand. This is your chance to rise as a hero. But don't stop there. Forge alliances, build your clan, and become king of the land and make humanity proud. Once you start playing this game, you won't be able to stop. And the game's 20 million online players are right now engaged in an all-out war for resources, building their own alliances, and competing in live events. Listen, Vikings War of Clans is a sponsor that we are very happy to have because the game is legitimately a lot of fun. So please help support our channel by downloading the game using my links in the description box. And for doing so, you will get a special bonus of 200 gold coins and a protective shield, which will be extremely useful to start. And don't forget to look me up and join my Viking clan under my nickname, American Ben. Thanks again to Vikings War of Clans, and now back to our regular scheduled programming. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the 10 best alien slayers. To start, at number 10, we have Johnny Rico. Hey, longtime viewers of this channel will know that I think that Rico is a putz. After all, he did let the arachnids invade Earth, but he's also kicked a whole lot of alien ass. Rico only joined the mobile infantry in the first place to be closer to his girlfriend, who had the personality of a brick. Hashtag Team Dizzy. And his initial time in the infantry did not go well, though he had his moments. But over time, as Rico became more experienced and we moved on from the Paul Verhoeven movie, he became a pretty badass Xenoslayer. In Starship Troopers Invasion, he comes down to Earth himself to eradicate bugs despite being a general, and in Starship Troopers Traitor of Mars, after being demoted to colonel, he leads a novice platoon of Martian humans against an arachnid horde at the expected cost of his own life. The Humanity First codebook states, quote, "No man shall put his life before the death of an alien." And Rico constantly finds himself amidst the Xeno horde, purposely inserting himself into battle. Perhaps yes, because of a slight mental deficiency, but also because he believes in the human cause. At number 9, we have the Doctor. The Doctor is the main alias used for the irreverent Time Lord from Gallifrey at the center of the Doctor Who universe. Many of you who know Doctor Who might argue that the Doctor is not an alien slayer. After all, he had his flaws, such as semi-pacifism and a support for non-violent conflict resolution. After all, the Humanity First codebook does not advocate restraint, as it clearly states very early on, when in doubt, exterminatus. However, what's important here is that the Doctor battles a variety of different Xenos across time and space, protecting not only the present reality, but also the humans in the future. That's a heavy burden. And the Doctor isn't completely handcuffed in battle either. He just comes up with more creative ways to stifle alien scum. I know that Master Chief can throw some serious fisticuffs, but can he do this?
Stare into the face of death!
Yeah? Well, stare at this.
Number 8 is Benjamin Cisco. Speaking of making difficult decisions for the greater good, Captain Ben Cisco lived by a modus operandi of the ends justify the means. He is probably most known for his 7-year tenure commanding Space Station Deep Space Nine. He fought the Borg at the Battle of Wolf 359 and was a hero of the Dominion War, where he starred during the Battle of Deep Space Nine. Despite a minor anger issue,
because if I'm right, there's no telling what kind of damage Sloan
Get him off my bridge!
Let's go, Doctor.
I said that's enough! Major, shut that thing off! What the hell do you want from me?
Cisco was a good guy who tried at times to a fault to give aliens, like the Jem'Hadar, a chance to abandon their stupid alien ways.
You can still stay one step ahead. Surrender. I have my orders.
But if it wasn't going to happen, he didn't have a problem massacring them all either. Every alien who has dealt with Starfleet knows you can mess around a bit with James Kirk or Jean-Luc Picard, but don't ever F with Cisco. Number 7 is Anakin Skywalker. Now this was a bit of a difficult decision because I know that Anakin has done some semi-questionable things.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Okay, I'm gonna say something here. Anakin did nothing wrong. Yep. And anyway, people are always getting on him for the smallest things. While Star Wars war criminal Luke Skywalker did this. Like, dude, really? There was probably a bunch of women and children on there, or at least a few field trips. On the other hand, I watch Anakin swinging at Tusken Raiders like he's Roid Rage Mark McGuire, and it's the bottom of the 9th. And it's some pretty solid alien decimation.
Bases loaded. 2 out. Hard hit into right. Back at the wall. Tie game!
Anakin clearly had no love for Xenos.
They're like animals, and I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
He may have been powerless to stop his mother's death, Padme's death, or bad writing.
I will be the most powerful Jedi ever. I promise you. I will even learn to stop people from dying.
But as Darth Vader, he oversaw the deaths of countless aliens over his years in power, and for that, we salute him. Number 6 is Alan Dutch Schaefer from Predator. A Vietnam vet, Dutch started a private military organization that took on missions that even the US military didn't have the stomach for. When his team was hired by the US government for a rescue mission in Valverde, Dutch led his team to the Central American country where they ended up being hunted by a dangerous and unknown enemy. That enemy turned out to be a predator. The predator, enjoying its hunt, slowly eliminated each member of Dutch's crew. It's at this point that you or I might have run. Dutch could have run away, but Dutch did not. See, Section 3, Article 4 of the Humanity First Codebook states, when confronted with an unknown alien enemy, to assess its weaknesses, first attempt to find out if it bleeds. If it does, you might live yet. Why is this important? Well, as Dutch says,
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
So Dutch, knowing that running away would be a small victory on the path to a greater defeat, and knowing that the Predator has blood running through it, made the incredibly stupid and yet totally awesome decision to seek out the Predator himself and kill it. It's a shame of reality that incredibly stupid and totally awesome are inextricably linked, but alas, they are. Dutch not only showed the world that the Yautja could be defeated, but he made it out of Valverde alive, along with the gorilla that stole my heart, Ana Gonzalez. And if I remember the history right, Dutch and Ana had a child, and they lived happily ever after. Number 5 on our list is Ellen Ripley. Ripley is an obvious choice for this list. So rare is it to see one person exhibit prolific alien killing across multiple sequels. There have been many important firsts for women throughout history in their long struggle for equality. The first woman to vote, the first woman to hold public office, the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. But what could be more important to the course of womankind than the first female to obliterate a xenomorph? She never asked to become one of the galaxy's leading slayers of xenoscum, but destiny had its plans. When Ripley was sent to the exomoon LV-426 in 2179 along with a crew of colonial marines to investigate a terraforming colony that had gone silent, she and the Marine platoon were attacked by an army of xenomorphs. The colonial marines, highly trained operatives, were quickly dispatched by the aliens, but Ripley picked up an M41A pulse rifle and proved more capable than the marines themselves. Most importantly of all, she stood up to the devious Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Where Weyland-Yutani wanted to capture aliens for research and development, Ripley consistently undermined them, eradicating xenomorphs and keeping humanity safe. Number 4 is Morden Solace. Mass Effect largely revolves around Commander Shepard, of course, a human soldier that would be a fine choice for this list. So you might find it confusing that I chose an alien instead. But hear me out. Solace was a Solarian geneticist, professor, and former operative of the Special Tasks Group. As part of the Tasks Group, he helped to develop the genophage, a biological weapon that was used by the Turians to stifle the Krogans, a species of large reptilian bipeds. The Krogans developed fast as a species, coming to have advanced technology and weapons. Eventually, their rapid expansion led them to be seen as a threat to the galaxy, and so the genophage was modified to be deployed as a weapon against them.
Had to be done. Rachni wars, Krogan rebellions all pointed to Krogan aggression. So many simulations, effects of Krogan population increase, all pointed to war, extinction, genophage or genocide. Save galaxy from Krogan. Save Krogan from galaxy.
The genophage that Morden Solace helped design wasn't intended to kill Krogans outright, but to reduce the probability of viable pregnancies among the species.
Pretty it up however you like. You're talking about murdering millions.
No, murdered no one. Altered fertility, prevented fetal development of nervous system. Have killed many, Shepard. Many methods. Gunfire, knives, drugs, tech attacks. Once with farming equipment, but not with medicine.
Thus potentially causing millions of miscarriages and stillbirths. Yes, this is slightly brutal, but thanks to Morden's actions, the birth of an entire generation of aliens was prevented.
How did you distribute the modified genophage?
Covert drops, hospitals, clan centers, water supplies. Very difficult. Few Solarians on Tuchanka. Team got caught a few times. Had to fight free. Messy. Better when things went as planned.
He may have expressed guilt about his actions later on in the series, but he rightfully stands behind his reasoning for doing so. The Krogan alien scum posed a threat to the safety and security of the galaxy.
You could have cured the genophage instead. Brought hope to the Krogan. They'd have rejoiced.
Assumes human reaction. Krogan stimulus response different. Harsh environment. Take chance to fight. Flee. Would have caused chaos on Tuchanka. Victor would have war economy. Bloodthirsty army. Galactic expansion only logical outcome. More war. Genophage saved lives. War would have ended.
There's nothing that I appreciate more than an alien who has the foresight and wisdom to turn against his own kind. And for those of you who will argue that there's many different kinds of aliens, let me stop you right there. There's humans, and then there's aliens. And if you're an alien, then you're a bug, and I'm gonna squash you. Number 3 is Thanos. Thanos doesn't really hail from the world of science fiction like the other heroes on our list, but he is important to include due to his contributions to the mass killing of aliens. Many know him as a tyrannical, genocidal, psychopathic maniac, but okay, no, that's pretty hard to argue with. But in the course of his mission to gather the Infinity Stones so that he could bring the universe to balance, he wiped out a lot of aliens. He invaded worlds along the way and slayed many aliens from Asgardians to Xenobari, even killing his own adopted daughter Gamora in order to do so. Should have tucked and rolled. He also annihilated his homeworld of Titan with nuclear devices, taking with it his own mother. But who am I to judge, given that I pushed my mother out of a hot air balloon when I was 10? What's important is that Thanos eliminated half the life in the universe, and humans get all bent out of shape because this probably includes about half the life on Earth. But think of the trade-off. Thanos literally eliminated what could be trillions or more of dangerous aliens in exchange for a few billion humans who can now repopulate in a much safer reality. Though not using conventional means, Thanos is perhaps the most prolific and most successful alien slayer of all time. Number 2 on our list is Sly Marbo. Nicknamed the One-Man Army and hailing from the ruthless death world of Catachan, Sly is one of the most decorated guardsmen in the Imperial Guard. He is a member of the Catachan Devils, an elite troop of Catachan jungle fighters, rivaling the best special forces that the Astra Militarum has to offer. There is a rule in the Warhammer universe. The Space Marine has no human equal, and Space Marines are hardly even human themselves. But Sly, though little is known about his background, is just a man. But he makes man proud because he has survival and ambush skills that rival that of the Adeptus Astartes, and he's also a galactically elite marksman. He's often armed with his Ripper pistol loaded with venomous rounds, and an envenomed blade also coated with toxins and used by Marbo sometimes just for fun. He lives to kill aliens, and it is said that during his downtime, he simply stares into space until given a new mission. I heard of a man who looked at Sly Marbo wrong once. Sly stole his lunch money and killed him and 8 generations of his family, some of whom were already dead. Marbo is a master stealth hunter of Xenos, blending into his surroundings and slitting his enemies' throats from the shadows. Legends tell of his endless exploits and massacres of aliens. It is told that during the Dark Elder incursion on Galabad, the garrison of guardsmen stationed on the planet were greatly outnumbered by the Xenos and were being torn limb from limb by their enemy. When a rescue team arrived, they only found Sly Marbo, alone, covered in blood, and holding a knife. He was surrounded by piles of dead aliens, and the head of the Dark Elder's leader was impaled on a spike behind him. And finally, number 1, Master Chief. We are all Master Chief. No, literally, we've all played as him, and so we know what he's been through and what he's done for humanity.
You told me there wouldn't be any cameras.
And you told me you were gonna wear something nice. Folks need heroes, Chief, to give them hope.
Perhaps humanity's greatest hero in its war with the Covenant, John 117 had his childhood ripped from him when he was abducted by the UNSC's Office of Naval Intelligence, so that he could be conscripted into the Spartan II program and turned into a super soldier. Which, by the way, for those of you still in school, is a great excuse. If you haven't done your homework, just tell your teachers that Oni stole it for research purposes. Hidden beneath his green Mjolnir battle armor, Master Chief has well over 200 ground engagements against the Covenant on his record, including almost 40 full campaigns, and for his actions during the Covenant War, earned almost every major UNSC service medal and combat award. Where the Covenant often doesn't fear the physically and technologically inferior human race, John 117 is their worst nightmare, with many Covenant soldiers referring to him as the Demon.
Possibly make any more noise? I guess so.
Sure, he has a very questionable and possibly intimate relationship with artificial intelligence, and I'm sure with the UNSC's crappy shielding technology, the radiation in space has gotten to him somewhere along the way.
I am not leaving you here.
John. I've waited so long to do that.
Well, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell. For now, I'm American Ben, reminding you to never forget the men and women who have perished fighting aliens across the universe. Heroes who died protecting freedom. We fight on for them, my brethren, and for Argentina. I'll catch you next time. Generation Films, peace.